I literally cannot believe how cheap this 1440p 144Hz monitor is from AOC. It's their new CQ27G2U, and it's just amazing. You have to check it out. This is not one that you want to miss. But first, if you haven't already, consider subscribing for more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So let's get it out of the way first. This monitor costs just £280, and I'm sure similar numbers in the USA and elsewhere when it becomes more widely available, because it's still pretty new. For your money, you're getting an incredible bit of kit. Like I said, it's 1440p 144Hz, also has FreeSync support, and yes, uses a VA or vertical alignment panel, which I know will turn some of you away, but I've got some good news. It's a really good panel. The main problem people have with VA panels, or the biggest issue you might be concerned about, is the panel's response time, and therefore it's kind of ghosting when playing games. Now, I'm happy to say that the response time is just somewhere between 7 and 8 milliseconds, which, while not the lowest I've ever seen, including for a VA panel, it's still pretty decent. Ghosting is technically there, but it's not something I noticed in games while playing at all. It wasn't an issue for me personally, and so unless you're very, very particular about not having any ghosting at all, in which case generally 1440p 444Hz monitors might not be the best option for you anyway, it's still a pretty decent option. But what about input lag though? Well, testing with my Time Sleuth, it reported around 12 milliseconds of input lag from the center of the display, which is actually a pretty decent result. The MSI 1440p 165Hz VA monitor I reviewed fairly recently, I'll try and remember to leave that in the cards up above, is reported around 11 milliseconds, so pretty close considering a £130 price difference. Of course, actually gaming on it was pretty great. It felt smooth and responsive while still retaining the nice crispness that 1440p displays have. It was a very enjoyable experience that really, when you combine that with its price tag, makes it very, very easy for me to recommend. Where it gets more impressive is in the colors department. See, you would expect for this kind of price for this kind of monitor, it'd be very easy to throw the cheapest panel they could find in there and just, say, oh, well, colors are for creators and not for gamers, right? Well, happily, that's not the case. Testing with my Spider X and Data Color Zone software, it reported a coverage of 99% of the sRGB spectrum, around 85-86% of the Adobe RGB spectrum, and around 90% of the DCI-P3 spectrum, which is pretty incredible for kind of any gaming display, let alone a non-IPS one, and so this is fantastic. That means that if you're an aspiring content creator, especially on the gaming side of things, this could be a great entry point into, content creation for having nice high quality 1440p videos while also having a great playing experience for you and a decent color profile to be able to edit your videos on after the fact. So very, very nice. Now, a quick tour of the rest of the monitor. Design-wise, it's actually pretty subtle. They do have a few small red accents, which I know people aren't necessarily the biggest fan of, but like I said, it's pretty subtle. You've got a small red lip on the bottom of the front, a bit on the stand, and a little bit on the back as well, but otherwise it's still pretty subdued, so a big thumbs up there. The stand itself has a decent amount of adjustability. In fact, it actually has more than the MSI model. It has a good amount of height adjust, a good amount of tilt, and a decent amount of swivel side to side as well, so you can adjust it to however you like. Viewing angles are also a little bit better than the MSI one as well. There is still a good amount of brightness drop off as you go to sort of extreme angles, but actually there is a decent window of not quite perfectly centered that it still looks really very good at, so actually again a big thumbs up there too. Inputs wise, you have two HDMIs, one DisplayPort, and a 4-port USB hub, of which the yellow one is a charging port, so you could say charge your phone up nice and quickly, which is always good to see. Now, on the HDMI front, of course you can use this with your console, but if that's specifically what you're looking for, like I mentioned in the MSI review, I can't necessarily recommend 1440p high refresh rate monitors for a game console, at least the current generation ones anyway. As far as I'm aware, neither directly support 1440p, it's normally either upscaling or downscaling, and they certainly don't support high refresh rates, so if that's specifically what you're after, I cannot recommend this for you. With that said, if you are a PC gamer, this is just an amazing monitor. I really can't recommend this enough. Not only is it a just generally great monitor, even if it cost £300 or £400, it would still be a very good option, but the fact that it costs just $280, which bear in mind it wasn't all that long ago that 1080p 144Hz monitors cost that much, so I'm really just blown away by how amazing this thing is, especially for its price, and so I can do nothing but highly recommend it to basically anyone that wants a good high refresh rate monitor. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the Curve myself. They do have a flat panel version if you're interested, but like I said, for this kind of price, I really can't recommend it enough, so do go check it out. If you do want to check it out, by the way, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. That's an Amazon affiliate link. It will take you to your local Amazon store where you can see pricing when and where you watch this, because it can and does vary, and also it might not necessarily be available everywhere immediately, so you know, bear with the world as we actually distribute some of these. And of course, those are my thoughts, but I would love to hear yours in the comments down below. What do you think of this incredibly cheap 1440p 144Hz monitor? Is there anything you'd like to know about it? If you have any questions, do feel free to leave those down there too. And if you want to see more videos like this one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do hit that subscribe button with the bell notification icon. If you want to support the channel in more ways than just watching these videos and subscribing, then you can take a look at the rest of the links in the description down below too. There's stuff like Amazon and Overclock UK affiliate links that don't cost you anything to use, but massively help me out when you do use them. Or there's stuff like merch for hoodies or t-shirts like this one. This premium tee is incredibly soft, very much recommended. And you can also check out stuff like Streamlabs OBS if you want to start streaming, or Patreon if you want to get cool rewards like ad-free videos and support me directly. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the MSI review on the end if I can remember, and feel free to check out some more videos if you haven't already, and that is pretty much it. Like I said, if you've got any questions, leave those in the comments down below, and we'll see you all in the next video.